And back here live this morning, not in the kitchen, over here. We'll be going outside in just a moment, so hold your horses, boys. And Kristi Valls up here this morning. Thank you for sponsoring the DTV production of the rodeo, which starts at 6 o'clock.
Very good.
Tomorrow night on Friday. You'll see Kristi all next week on there, too. You are former DA. How long were you in for?
I was in the DA's office
years?
for a million years, 21 years. I was DA for just short of 12 years.
Just sort of quick. And then, of course, the Republican sweep came through. You were always a Democrat, and then we all know what happened then. Then let me bring up a sore subject with you. You go back, join the Republican Party, like most everybody did. Brian Jones used to be a Democrat himself. Yeah. We were there the day at the thing out at the arena. A lot of people switched over. Then all of a sudden, you get ready to seek your old job. It's been 6 years, and they tell you no. Did that blindside you, or did you know that was going to happen?
But yet you were on the committee, so that
was
kind of stupid.
What?
I don't know that it really blindsided me. I'd had people say, you know, they'll challenge you if you decide to run again. And I never knew if I was going to run again. I was just getting politically active and just didn't know what I was going to do, if I wanted to do anything. And, you know, so I kind of expected that there might be somebody. And when you say it was a small group of people. I met a lot of people when I was on the executive committee, great people, and I think you said something earlier, you used to be a Democrat. I've always been the same person. I've always been a Limestone County conservative, and you know, I changed the party by which was beside my name was all I did. And yeah, so I was on the committee, but once I was on the executive committee, I was a little shocked that they would challenge my qualifications.
Well, what, did they challenge your qualifications, or just because you ran as a Democrat before?
Yeah, my qualifications, they questioned my Republicanism, I guess would be the answer. And, and by they, I don't mean a bunch of people. There were
a
handful of people. Mm-hmm. Some were from out of county. There were some on the steering
committee.
Some
that don't even drive.
That's true, yes. That's
true. These crazy people. But anyway, let's talk about what's going forward. You are going to run as an independent.
I am, and I'm excited about that. I truly am. I think
How tough a role is that to hold?
You know, I think that I'm on the inside, so when I'm looking at it like every day I see people who say to me, I don't vote by party, I vote by who's the best person for the job. And the job's not about who's the best Republican or who's the best Democrat. It's about who's the best person for district attorney. And, you know, people say a lot, independent, you don't see that many independents who run or win, but you also see people every day who say, I want who's the best person for the job. And I believe that the people of Limestone County want that. I believe that 2010 taught some people a lesson, and I believe that that they want the best person for the job. You know, you can vote straight party and still vote for me.
Oh, you can?
You can.
How does that work? Because if you vote straight party, wouldn't the current Republican DA get that vote?
If you vote straight Republican, you know, at the top of the ballot, you vote straight Republican, you go down and you vote one box, which is the independent for Kristi Valls. So you check two boxes. If you vote straight Democrat, you do the same thing. You vote Democrat, and then you vote Kristi Valls as an independent.
Does he still get the vote too, or does it override?
It overrides.
Really?
Yes.
I did not. That's what I think you need to educate people. One question: when you wanted to do an independent, how many signatures were you required by law to come up with?
I think it was 691.
How many did you come up with?
About 1,500. It was 1,400.
Before you cut it off?
Yes.
Yeah, about 1,500.
We stopped.
You knew it.
We turned in early. We turned in the names early. We wanted to, and I didn't advertise it to the public to come in and sign. I put a little thing on my Facebook privately and just asked people to come in and sign. I didn't want to go out there and make a big production. It was election year for some other people during that time, and I didn't want to interfere with that. So.
So they don't, if they vote straight ticket, which a lot of people will, they
Right.
can still vote for you and override the vote for the
Check
current.
2 boxes.
That's
rather
right.
than
You
just
check 2
one.
I didn't know
boxes.
you could do that.
That's right. And
What else do people need to know about Kristi Valls running as independent candidate for district attorney?
Well, you know, like I said, it's a race not about who's the best Democrat, Republican. It's about who's the best person for the job, and I think that's me. Being district attorney is about using good judgment. That's the number one thing. I've had 5 years to sit back and look at, to view and to look at what I did and what I can do. And
What is some of the things you've heard, and I've talked to several lawyers, and they are completely dissatisfied with what's going on now in your old position. What are some of the things that you've observed that you're going to bring back or change?
well, you know, it's about judgment and focusing on what's important, what cases are important, what cases are important to pursue vigorously, and what to focus on. You know, I think that 85–90% of crime in Limestone County is because of drug use, and we've got to focus on that. We have to focus on things that are important. I won't be focusing on how many community service hours someone does. I'll be focusing on what crime someone committed and hold them accountable for that crime. And I want to be held accountable. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I want everyone to look at that and I want to hold criminals accountable, and I want the public to hold me accountable.
You know, when you were district attorney, we've been here for 13 years. I don't really know, but about how many times did she come up and do our show
Oh
live?
my gosh, a bunch. I mean,
Anytime we'd ask you, you were
anytime.
here.
I did.
Not once
In 6 years.
in 6 years has our district attorney now made an appearance up here to talk about anything.
And that's a shame because you miss out on what's going on and
What's
to be
going on.
able to ask questions as well.
Well, what can people expect of you over the next till November? Where are you going to be?
Well, I'm going to be at my law office at 205 West Washington Street, practicing law, which I've been doing for the last 5 years. And by the way, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed what I've done. I've learned a lot. I've learned some things that will make me a better district attorney. And I've talked to attorneys. I've been able to see them and talk to them. And more importantly, I've talked to law enforcement. I believe that the second thing other than judgment, and that's important, is working with law enforcement as district attorney. And I trust law enforcement. I depend on them. I support them. And I believe that they do the same with me. And so what you'll see me doing is getting out there